personal experiences and use that as a sort of a telescope for you to look at the Foundation for Jewish Camp. It's 50 plus years now that I've been doing this. And I had a dream way back when as a young man that came about for two different reasons. One was that the most crucial educator who ever touched me, and I've been in educational institutions from elementary school and nursery school through being a graduate professor and the dean of the graduate school for a very long time. But the one who touched me more than anyone was Rabbi David Gilner of blessed memory, my teacher and my camp director. And I could go on a long time, but I'll tell you that he just touched me at a crucial time. I was 21. I'd never been to a Ramah camp. I believed in the Boy Scouts. I grew up in the Boy Scouts and in scout camping, and I went to a Jewish camp then for the first time. I had another experience that moved me in this direction, and it's interesting because at our meeting for the Hidur faculty earlier, and our team. Someone asked that I think one of the exercises, you had to put down, where your name was from, who you were named for, something like that. And so I wrote down the name, Avraham Miller-Chersky. Avraham Miller-Chersky lived in Lomzh. And in the 19th and the early 20th century, he served had a communal responsibility. He ran the orphanage. Now, you were an orphan in those towns if you had even lost only one parent. The community would care for you. And what he really ran was a campus. And the kids came every day, and he would care for them and his staff, and they would learn Torah with him, and then they would play, and he would oversee whatever they did. So that was Avraham Miller-Chersky. Now, my name is Alvin Mars. You know that, right? Alvin Mars. But my name is really, my true name is Avraham Miller-Chersky. And so I felt that I had a calling from the time that I heard it. But I couldn't even talk to my parents about it. And that's where you come in. I told them when I was in college that I had decided that I was going to go into Jewish education. Why would you want to do that? I mean, you can't, they have a song, you can't earn a living doing that. Why would you want to do that? I said, well, I really want to do it, and I was going to, oh, so you're going to be a rabbi? I said, no, I'm not going to be a rabbi. I'm going to be an educator. So I'm going to go and I'm going to take a doctorate. And then what are you going to do? He says, I said, I'll run a Hebrew school. Well, they wanted me to be a doctor, my parents. There was no question, but I don't think it was that kind of a doctor. At any rate, they, eventually I got the doctorate and I was running a Hebrew school. And then I ran a day school for a while. And after a while, they thought, this is really great. I was like a nachas machine, in the community, because they could really appreciate it. And then an opportunity came up, and I came to my parents and I said two terrible things to them. I said, I'm going to go and run a camp. I've been invited to run a camp. What is this, to run a camp? I mean, the children play, and they have a nice time, but you're responsible. But it's in the summertime. And no, it's all year round. But what is it to run a camp? The other thing I told them that they didn't enjoy either, being an only child, I told them I was moving with their 3 grandchildren to California. Philadelphia. And so I went off to do that. And that's where you come in. Because from that time when I remember when the builders meeting, and from the development of the organization, but it was then, wasn't it called the Foundation for Jewish Camping? Camping, yes, I remember that. They, at that point in time, things began to happen. People began talking. There were all kinds of dreams of the money you had. Of course, you didn't have it. And whatever was going on or wasn't going on, and you were, the term I heard, you wanted to put heads in beds. You were looking to build camps to bring larger populations of Jews. But you convened some meetings. You had that book that the Avichai Foundation put out through Ms. Brandeis, How Goodly Are Your Tents? And so here's the first thing I want you to understand that you did. See, because I did the same thing with my parents later on. I ended up being the head of the university, the academic head of the university. And I left that to go be a camp director. They looked at me a second time like I was out of my mind. But what you did, you used the word hidur mitzvah. But what you did first was not hidur mitzvah, beautifying the mitzvah. What you did was hadar mitzvah. Do you know what hadar is? Sounds like the same root. Hadar mitzvah. You gave the field dignity. Hadar is dignity. It meant something that I was a Jewish educator and a camp director. It meant that I could be a professional who held my head up high and was recognized by the Jewish educational world as someone who was making an important contribution. Now, I know in my heart that I have made an important contribution, but it feels better when you know it too. And it feels better when you share it and trumpet it to the world. It's not a mistake. It's not an error. It's not just a happening that we have stellar people who've been coming into the field in recent years. It's because of Hadar, the dignity of the position. And our directors will tell you now what I do is as important as what any day school director does, or any Hebrew school director does. And it is, maybe even more so. So that is what you did originally. But now you're doing something else. And this is, we were talking about change. Where's Emily? I don't see. We were talking about change and growth and today with the people, and they're very bright. I sit there very quietly because too many smart people in the room. And at any rate, we're talking about all these kinds of, change. Well, you are on the verge of making a major change in what's going to be happening in Jewish camps over the next decades. It's not just going to be Hadar, dignity, but Hidur. And Hidur is enhancement, but more so. It's beautification. It's making Hidur mitzvah. It's not just having a little piece of wood with the, screws that you put. But these are beautiful things. It's taking something, and because it's meaningful, and because you know it's meaningful, and because you care about it, you invest to make it everything it can be, possibly. So you're at a stage now where Hidur mitzvah is going to be what you're doing. You are going to be taking Jewish life that happens in camp and beautifying it and thinking about it and arguing about it and envisioning it and visioning it so that it can touch kids in a different way. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. I'm going to tell you a secret because I'm almost no longer on the payroll. It's not a 3-year project. 3 years is okay to start, but it's like a potato chip. You can't eat one potato chip. I mean, you'll like the potato chip and you won't get fat from it because it's only one potato chip. But if you are about to take a step that's as significant as creating a field, a Jewish educational field of dignity, you are going to be creating a field of thought. You're going to be creating a field of practice that is going to be elevated beyond anything that we can imagine sitting in this room here today. Much higher than the 40 floors that we are. I don't know what Jewish life is going to look like, but I do know that because we're doing this now, Jewish camps are going to be making a difference in Jewish life and for Jewish people in ways that are beyond my imagination, which is why I'm retiring. So now, it's Hanukkah, and you have to say something about Hanukkah, otherwise I didn't talk, right? So I want you to feel that I talked. So, the old question between, maybe you don't know, but I'll tell you what you should know, between the schools of Shammai and the schools of Hillel. Shammai said